exciting it is to be a one-of-a-kind, unique being, an essence of expression, never to be repeated again. And yet, we all seek to see ourselves reflected in each other. What a delicate dance this is. So I've been, wow, this full moon experience, full moon in Aquarius, I was going to say full moon experience, but yes, full moon experience. Full moon Aquarius has brought up a lot of feelings for me around just fears around being unseen, fears around being seen, identity, what is me, who am I, just the typical existential crisis. And it's feeling especially magnified right now, because I feel like a lot of experiences and interactions with people are coming up that are really magnifying. I said magnifying, right? Am I? They're really causing or forcing me focus on that, especially around fears. And for me, I've been reflecting, coming to the conclusion, I guess, or the realization, that's a better phrase for that, more apt realization that a lot of the things that I put on that are not genuine to me are I would view them so harshly, and just realizing that this is a very human need to want to fit in, to want to be accepted, to want to not be feeling unseen, to not feel like you're ignored or ostracized, or just that no one even notices you. And it's not always true. Of course, your mind has ways of creating distortions or focusing on certain things, and then of course your mind is always trying to avoid situations that cause pain and fear. So it magnifies a lot of these situations in order to avoid future situations where you potentially would feel ignored, and bringing up those feelings around fear and pain. It's helped me a lot to look at it as, we're simple creatures. We try to avoid pain and fear, and there's not very many. It comes down to something very simple, right? It's love or fear, and just realizing, I've always tried to think of myself as a tough cookie, as someone who, is very independent and can, spend a lot of time in solitude on their own. And I'm lucky to have a very supportive, lovely husband as well. But socially in general, I've always been a bit of a lone wolf, and have had trouble, for example, workplaces, breaking into a friend group, or it's just always followed me throughout my life. And as much as I enjoy my solitude and being quite independent, and just delving into my hobbies or into my brain, or things like that, there are times when it feels very lonely as well. And I've always been harsh with myself, like, wow, like, why would you care about that? Like, why are you letting these fears and expectations of society get to you? But just through this full moon, coming to the realization that it's a very human desire to want to feel accepted and loved, and to want to, have people to bounce off, your artistic ideas with, or to want to, just feel seen. That's normal. And there's going to be different periods in your life where you'll want to feel seen more, that your soul will desire it more, or that your soul will desire more solitude. And both are okay. Everything is okay in that regard. There's no one right way to be. And I think a lot of it too for me has been through this, especially through this Aquarius woman, a lot of addictions, bad habits coming up. I've been very blessed in that I've had very, I guess I'm going to rephrase this, backtrack a little bit. I grew up, I didn't have internet growing up as a child, but in my late teens, early 20s was when it started to become more just everywhere. I think I got my first smartphone in my early to mid 20s, I want to say maybe 24, 25, something like that. And so I'm lucky in that I wouldn't say lucky, I mean, I don't think it's very productive to look at it as all bad. I think that there's some growing pains going on with the leaps in technology as far as how it relates to the human experience and human consciousness, but I think it's very, I don't like just labeling things as good or bad, or, there's growing pains, there's ways to objectively look at it in a holistic way, including, mind, body, spirit. So I really don't like just, this is bad, I'm lucky, let's get rid of that, right? But yeah, just the fact is that I didn't grow up with the internet in my life until I was maybe around 16 or so. I think that's when I remember joining my first forum, and that was back in the day with like MSN chat rooms and forums about various like bands and stuff were really popular, and that was a big part of my socialization because I didn't really have many friends in real life. And then my husband through a forum as well. And in the last few years, it's kind of crept up on me that going through YouTube and doom scrolling has been a bit of an addiction, maybe a lot of an addiction, to be honest with you. I tried to create an Instagram at one point, and I had a couple of friends and a couple of people I didn't know follow me. I think I had like 10 followers. And I like to believe I'm a pretty secure person. Of course, I have my traumas. I have, a lot of trauma from when I was growing up, and there's a lot, I'm sure, that I'm still working through that is unbeknownst to me, subconscious, that I'm still, I definitely have my triggers that, I'm not fully, and the healing is a cyclical process. Life is always going to throw you something else to look at a trauma, or to look at a trigger, to look at a situation in a different light as you continue through your cyclical healing process throughout your life, throughout lifetimes. And it's a beautiful experience, though there can be a lot of sadness, a lot of difficulty. I try to look at it as a beautiful experience and really try to look at it with as much gratitude and appreciation as I can, and try to learn as much as I can. But anyhow, what was I talking about? I was talking about forums, wasn't I? Starting Instagram, and there's a part of myself that started to feel really sad because I would see friends and just random people, and they would have so much interaction with people and comments, and it even started to trigger a part of me as far as my body image, because I wouldn't really have any interaction other than my two friends. And as well, there's a time that I posted a photo of some garbage, and that got a lot more interaction than any photos or any art that I tried to share with people, and that hurt. And I know it shouldn't. And I was really hard on myself on it. And then through this full moon at Aquarius, a lot has been coming full circle with realizing that, okay, that's a very human desire to want to be seen, to want to be accepted, to feel like, that you have a community, you have people that see you, because that feeling of invisibility has been a big part of my life. I'm very lucky, and I have a beautiful, supportive, amazing husband. And I don't have many friends, but the ones I do have been people who I've been lucky to have in my life for many years, and I may not talk to them for years even, but I know that they are people that I can count on. But those feelings of feeling invisible, feeling unworthy, feeling those feelings of comparison to others, that feeling of that fear of being unseen and ostracized and invisible, and even a lot as well. So that's been coming up, but through this full moon, I've been really looking into and learning a lot about how that's just a very human experience, a very human feeling to have, and looking at it with more compassion, which has helped me a lot to just, instead of getting stuck in addiction, really to just, okay, you're going through the time now where you're comparing yourself to people you're watching on YouTube shorts for 4 or 5 hours straight, and reading comments and getting all caught up in how you should be and how you should look, and wanting to be another person rather than focusing on your own life and your own experience, and really just taking a moment to breathe and feel how it feels like to be alive as this unique being that you are, having this unique experience. And everybody else's experience is just as unique, just as valid, just as worthy, but you are having this particular experience in this body right now, and it's time for you to just, validate and give a nice pat, a nice hug to that part of you that feels invisible and unseen, but at the end of the day realize that you're here. For some reason I had the phrase, you're here to validate yourself. I don't know if I like that word validate, but you're here to express and experience life to the most authentic and fullest way that you can, to really enjoy just the sensations and the energy and the feelings of being alive, and the expression that is uniquely you. And by uniquely you, I mean what gives you the most joy and happiness, and that feeling within you of just being alive and expressing what is true and authentic to you. So beautiful. So I hope that, I don't think anybody's going to watch this, but I hope that if you did, that you're having a wonderful, beautiful full moon that is giving you so many opportunities for wonderful experiences of growth, of learning, of joy, of experiencing life as deeply as possible. And take care.